Hello again. Welcome back. Payday 2 is one of the games of all time. It has a lot of weapons, a big amount of skills, probably too many difficulties to play on, but most importantly, perk decks. And today we're going to make a tier list about them. We will be ranking them from E tier to S tier using this trusted list. We will only consider using said perks on the death sentence 1 down difficulty only played in loud. Nothing else, just pure death sentence loud stuff. Enjoy. Warning. This video shares an opinion on the internet. There may be some stuff said that you might disagree with. This is Little Dallas. He just installed the game literally 1 hour ago and is currently leveling up the Crucive Perk Deck. However, there's one problem with it. It fucking sucks. Just kidding, it's actually pretty damn good. There are 2 types of Crucive players. The just shown Payday 2 beginner and the Chat 4000 plus hour Crucive main. Obviously enough, Crucive is the first perk deck, making a lot of people think it's bad because it's old and simple. But don't be fooled, my young children. The perk gives the team some solid boosts like stamina, health, armor and some other stuff. Furthermore, you can grab converts and hostages to make Crucive even tankier. I mean, you can tank 4 heavy seal shots to the face with ICTV and the Joker and be fine with it. Can you do that? Well, let's find out. Well, would you look at that? Hello. The only annoying thing is the team health boost. It makes getting a good berserker effect pretty tough sometimes for the other crewmates. Not to mention the health boost is kinda pointless on berserker setups anyway, but regardless. Crucive. A tier. Have you ever wanted to be an 800-pound gorilla? Well, now you can with the big, fat, juicy, thick, muscle perk deck. I don't know why I went into detail so hard here. The perk gives you a lot more health, which is good. It also gives you some health regeneration, which isn't as good. It's kinda bad actually. Sure it works, but from my experience you're much better off combining muscle with hostage taker to be effective. But the perk also has the panic effect. Any firearm of yours has the ability to spread panic among your enemies. This effect is pretty good, but nothing too crazy. So muscle. B tier. Armor is a perk that focuses on armor. Truly incredible. Now the perk gives you some more armor and faster armor recovery time, which sometimes doesn't even mean anything because you are being armor suppressed. Seriously, what is this mechanic? Armor is also one of the 2 perks that have a 2-second god mode. Let me explain what that means. For every 15 seconds, whenever your armor gets broken, you get a 2-second frame of pure invincibility. You know, kinda like that funny guy in your lobby with P3D hack in his name. This 2-second god mode is pretty useful to go out in the open field, to grab some ammo real quick, or to get certain objectives done. It's actually much better than you might think. Armora. A tier. Hello everybody, it's me B44Croft showing you the new best dodge build in 2025. Let's start with the skills, shall we? Starting in Mastermind, we're gonna grab Quick Fix Aced combined with Medic Bags to grab Inspire Aced. This is the best way to build this sub-tree. This is pure fact. We're also gonna grab various other stuff for the sake of wasting skill points. Okay, now that we made the build, we will be grabbing the meta perk, which is... oh boy, it's Rogue. No idea where to start with this one. Rogue is often put as the best dodge perk deck out there, but that just isn't the case anymore. There are much better picks as of nowadays. It's just that this perk used to be the meta back in like, what, 2016. You see, Rogue gives you a big amount of dodge chance. It's not the most that you can get, but it's pretty good. And that's about it really. Said perk doesn't really give that much more stuff except for like faster weapon speed swapping. There are such better picks nowadays in terms of dodge perks that give so much more stuff. I think Rogue is a pretty good mid-tier perk deck. Not great, not terrible. B tier.
Holy shit.
Are you bored of using armor?
What?
Are you tired trying to dodge some bullets that you end up tanking anyway?
Oh, you fucking...
Do you want a good mixture between them? Then fear not, Crook is for you. Now on paper this idea does sound pretty good. You get both dodge and armor at the same time, but it really isn't that good. It's kinda like using a stealth, loud hybrid build. It's just bad. I think Crook performs the best by using this. the heavy ballistic vest, and having various skills to be able to tank one heavy steel shot without losing armor, while still having some dodge chance. But quite obviously enough, you end up using a lot of skill points for something that you can already do with a different perk, just without dodge. There are other ways to play Crook with more dodge but less armor. However, that kinda defeats the point of having extra armor in the first place, because you won't have enough to tank a heavy steel shot thanks to them being able to do 225 damage per bullet. Thanks, Jules. We appreciate it. C tier. Hitman. Hit that man. What do you think of Hitman when you first hear it? You might think of Keanu Reeves, but I think of Death and Despair. What? Okay, so let's rewind a bit. Hitman is definitely one of the worst perk decks in this game. I personally cannot perform any good with it. It's a perk that doesn't really do much and just isn't unique. It used to be interesting an ancient time ago, back when dinosaurs used to roam the planet. Back then akimbo weapons were only available to play when you equipped the Hitman perk deck. But nowadays that's obviously changed and it's no longer a thing. Hitman nowadays gives you faster armor recovery time, and apparently you will recover armor within 1.5 seconds no matter what the situation. You know, when you read this, you might think this is actually true. And it is. Good job, Overkill. Furthermore, Hitman gives you more ammo for akimbo weapons. You know, the same thing you can achieve with a tier 1 skill. Hitman. E tier.
Oh, breathtaking.
Burglar. Boring. This perk is more or less focused for stealth. For example, you can answer pages faster and bag bodies faster. You know, the true essential skills for loud DS. To be fair, you can pick locks 20% faster as well, and that can be useful for like one heist. That being a lesser heist where you are forced to pick lock 5 doors for objectives. But besides that, Burglar has some dodge to it. It's not much, but it's something. It's essentially the reverse rogue. If you see people using this perk in your lobby, they either have no idea what they're doing, or they are trolling. D tier. Infiltrator. Boring. Jokes aside, this perk is like Sociopath, but worse. It gives you some damage reduction, which is honestly very cool, because you can tank one heavy steel shot without the armor breaking. Besides this, you get some damage boost on your melee attacks. Your second and each consecutive melee hit will deal more damage up to a maximum of 10 times its normal damage. It's a great excuse to use my melee pipe mod. You also get some health back with a melee kill for every 10 seconds. Very cool. C tier. As I just said, Sociopath is the better version of Infiltrator. You get the same melee boost, except this one has a better health regeneration because of better cooldowns. But you also get armor regeneration upon an enemy kill with any weapon. This allows for some nasty armor gating. But Sociopath has another trick up its sleeve. Just like Muscle, it can spread panic, you guessed it, among your enemies. B tier.
It's time to stop.
As the name implies, Gambler improves your gambling chances to win some fat Robux on the slot machines. Well, that would be if Gambler would be any good. The perk, oddly enough, has health regeneration upon picking up ammo boxes dropped by the enemies you just killed. It's actually not too bad, but also nothing really insane. Gambler can also give out some extra ammo pickup for the teammates and also heal them. Very cool, I guess, but what is stopping you from grabbing a different perk that does the same, but better? Besides, I think Gambler's concept is just weird. When you're low health, you have to go out in the open field to heal up again. It's that one place where you're not supposed to be when you are low health, but sure. Sometimes that works just fine because you can get some ammo boxes dropped in cover, but sometimes isn't every time. Oh, and it's not like you get some sort of tool to assist you getting ammo boxes to achieve said thing. Fuck you, says Overkill. Stop committing skill issue and get those damn boxes. D tier.
Hey heisters, Almir here.
Блять, заткнись нахуй, сука, тупая, мать твою, ебал, пидорас, ебучий сын тупорылый, проститутки, блять, конченая мразь. Сука, блять. Nice.
Grinder is like Gambler, but instead of picking up ammo boxes from the enemies that just got murdered, Grinder just heals from damaging them instead. This concept is way better and way more consistent. However, this only works when using the 2-piece suit or light ballistic vest. Probably for the sake of balance. Which is weird to say because nowadays we got stuff like Leech. But that's about it really. Grinder just gives you some more base health and some chance to pierce enemy armor. But has anyone even cared about that? Like, ever? Beater. Yakuza is one of the perks of all time. It gives you these things. It's gonna make you go really fast.
Fast as fuck, boy.
You get some faster ammo recovery time. And yeah, that's about it. That's all you get. I think it deserves to be an S tier right next to the overpowered meta perk decks that are gonna go here. Honestly though, Yakuza does leave a lot to be desired. While the movement speed boost is pretty cool for stealth, it's not that interesting for loud. The faster ammo recovery time isn't bad, but that alone just doesn't make this perk any good. Besides, there are other perks that can already do this, but better. So I don't see the point of using Yakuza. Not to mention these two effects only start to work if you have low health. It's kinda like the Berserker skill. The less health you have, the more you get out of each effect. Eater.
Fast as fuck, boy.
The ex-president perk is very solid. It's kinda like Grinder's healing upon killing enemies, but more complex. Whenever your armor is up and you gather some kills, you store up some health, which is indicated by this funny little guy here. The more of this circle is present, the more health you get back upon any armor regeneration. Furthermore, you get some dodge as well, giving you the choice if you either want to run this perk for dodge or for armor instead.
Stop!
Very fun and solid perk. Beater. Maniac can be explained pretty easily with just 3 words. Maniac is garbage.
This is not a good perk deck.
To make this perk hopefully explained very simple, you basically do a lot of damage on cops, and for that you get some damage absorption, which actually isn't too bad when you face low tier damage enemies, but we are talking about death sentence here, so this pretty much doesn't matter. Not to mention, if you want to keep up this damage absorption, you have to keep up with the damage as well, because this effect only lasts for a short amount of time. Some of this damage absorption does apply to your teammates as well, which is great, but like, just use Crucive instead, like come on, just please do it, save yourself. Eater. Anarchist is truly incredible. It's easily the fan favorite for oh so many reasons. It's the perfect perk deck for both a beginner and a veteran because of how fun and why do I hear boss music? With that shown, I think you get the impression that Anarchist is a pretty good perk. And it really is. The perk essentially has a different type of armor regeneration. Basically it regenerates a bit of armor every few seconds. Depending what armor you have equipped, you either get more or less armor back within one tick. Furthermore, you can speed up this armor regeneration cycle by hitting enemies and also by using the bullseye skill. It basically makes Anarchist the armor version of Grinder. You also get more armor overall with the cost of having less health, making Anarchist an extremely good choice for using Berserker. And we're still not done here. Anarchist also has a 2-second God mode, because of course it does. It's similar to how Armora has it. However, this one is a bit better thanks to its unique armor regeneration. Also, please remove snipers, I fucking hate them, please. I just, no, please. Aether. Alright, so do you know about the we already have X thing at home meme? Well, it applies pretty well here with the Copycat Perk Deck. Essentially, it's a mixture between Grinder and Anarchist. You get a small amount of health and armor back for any kill that you or your team scored. This is not all that great because this only applies 4 times per 4 seconds, making this perk sort of inconsistent when you play in a team. While this perk does feel a lot like Anarchist and can save your life quite a lot, I do think this perk leaves a lot to be desired, regardless. C tier. So remember the 2-second God mode I just mentioned before that Anarchist and Armora has? Well, Kingpin sorta has this as well, but on drugs. Literally. Okay, so let's rewind a bit. Kingpin is the first perk deck to introduce the unique custom perk deck throwable. which in this case is the injector. When using it, you basically cannot die to anyone, well except for green dozers and shotgunner street cops. No, you fucking... This injector effect has health regeneration as well whenever you have armor up. This works extremely well with the bullseye skill. Without any armor, you just tank the bullets, which obviously allows you to rush objectives, get ammo boxes or get some neat Lego stats from killed enemies. Yo. Now what's ridiculous about this is the short cooldown on this injector. It's only 30 seconds in theory. In reality it's a lot less, since this cooldown starts as soon as you hit the injector. And also for any kill you perform while the cooldown is up, it will be reduced for an additional second. Very nice. Kingpin also gives you a lot more base health as well, which is also very nice. With all of this said, Kingpin is the first S tier on this list. Congrats, I guess. Sicario. You throw a smoke bomb, you stay inside of the smoke bomb, you don't die. Epic. Sicario is the second perk to introduce a custom throwable, which is the smoke bomb. When throwing it, you can stand inside of the smoke bomb for a few seconds and have a huge amount of dodge chance, allowing you to complete objectives or do all kinds of stuff. Now you won't die while standing inside of the smoke bomb, but if you are like me, you will yeah. Anyways, Sicario has two other abilities that are pretty good, aside of the additional 15% dodge you get with this perk. First, any bullet that you end up tanking will increase your dodge chance by 20%, and will increase until you dodge one bullet. And after that, everything goes back to normal base dodge chance. This means you can actually dodge with the ICTV armor. Very good. And second, any bullet that you dodge will also recover your armor immediately, assuming you just got hit before from a different bullet. Even better. Essentially, this second ability is what actually keeps you alive during a smoke bomb. Otherwise you would probably die to armor suppression. Beater. Stoic is one of the perks of all time. You take a 700 damage hit from a shotgun dozer at point blank range. Take a sip from that sweet whiskey bottle and you're good as new. Stoic is another perk that has a custom throwable, and it's quite simple actually. First of all, the perk converts all of your armor into health. Then whenever you do get hit by an enemy, that damage is applied over time with a few ticks. Depending how much damage you just took, you either choose to get wasted with your whiskey and heal out the entire damage over time, or just wait it out. That's about it really. Just make sure you're in cover whenever you are on cooldown with your hip flask. Honestly, this perk is a lot about knowing when you should not use the hip flask. This may not sound too great, but trust me, the huge damage reduction that comes with this perk is absolutely ridiculous. S tier. Tag Team. What an incredible perk deck. I honestly wonder why this perk even exists. Why does the entire H3H3 DLC pack exist? I just don't understand. No, anyway, Tag Team basically lets you tag teammates or even converts for a few seconds. For any kill scored during this tag from either of the two, there will be some health regeneration. On top of this, the time on the tag will be increased as well. You could essentially keep this effect going non-stop, assuming you would get enough kills with your tagged body. I would recommend tagging anarchist players or anyone who does a lot of DPS. But regardless, this perk isn't all that good really. Like, just use Grinder instead. D tier. Here's another ridiculously overpowered perk deck. Hacker. You get a high dodge chance similar to what Rogue has, and you also got so many more things with this perk that makes it so much better. For example, you can stun enemies or regenerate health upon kill whenever your custom throwable, the Pocket ECM, is active. Furthermore, you also get an additional 20% dodge upon killing an enemy during the Pocket ECM for 30 seconds. Now all of this alone is already extremely powerful. But Overkill decided to quote-unquote fix the Pocket ECM in update 229 and make this stun effect way more consistent. Now Hacker is even more broken and is probably taking the crown for the best perk deck in this game. The high dodge chance combined with the now super strong stun effect and health regeneration while also having 2 Pocket ECMs is absolutely nuts. I would almost consider putting Hacker into S+ tier, but I'm going to put it into S tier regardless. Alright, do you see this? Yeah, that's the Kingpin perk deck. Now let's make it more cursed. Ah, yes, the Leech perk deck. Alright, where do I start with Leech? I'm not quite sure what Overkill was thinking when making this perk deck, but oh my god, it has so many abilities. It has a custom throwable called Leech Ampule, restores 40% health immediately upon using said throwable. Disables your armor while the Leech Ampule is running. It divides your health into smaller segments. 1 bullet equals 1 segment removed. 1 bullet with 200 damage or more gets rid of 2 segments. Killing 2 enemies will restore 1 segment. Taking damage also heals your teammates. The Ampule effect lasts 10 seconds, with a 30-second cooldown. Maximum health is increased by 40%. When you have 0 segments left, you will remain in a Swan Song-like phase. Killing any enemy reduces the Ampule cooldown by 1 second. You can also revive yourself when using the Leech Ampule. Just make sure you either get a medic back or revive your teammate, otherwise you die. Killing 2 enemies while the Ampule effect is up, you also get a 1 second God mode state.
Okay.
I think that's everything. Honestly, it probably would have been easier to state the things that Leech cannot do. To keep it simple, combining Leech with Swansong or Messiah / Find Death, you basically get a free card to get the Deezot mask no matter how brain dead you play. What's even worse is that Leech used to be better on release, but Overkill thankfully nerfed it a bit. But it still holds up extremely well with the other overpowered perk decks. S tier. Copycat is the latest perk we got by the time of making this video. As the name probably implies, you can essentially copy other perk deck cards that are pre-selected already, so that you cannot make ridiculously overpowered builds. For example, you can copy Kingpin's Injector card, or if you want you could choose the Elusive card from Rogue, which does basically nothing in comparison. Some other cards of Copycat lets you choose stuff like more health, more armor and so on. Essentially you can make a huge amount of completely different builds with this perk. It's not as overpowered as you might think it is. See Copycat as a perk that makes weak perk decks better, but strong perks worse. A tier. And there you have it. A tier list of every perk deck in Payday 2 as I think that would fit. You might disagree with some stuff, which is totally understandable. Everyone has a different opinion after all. For example, I'm not that satisfied with Kingpin being in S tier. While Kingpin is extremely good and definitely better than Anarchist, Armorer or Khrushchev, it does feel a bit out of place seeing it next to Stoic or Hacker. I was going to make an S plus tier for Hacker or Leech, just so that Kingpin would fit better, but I feel like that's kind of unnecessary. I didn't want this list spammed with so many tiers, so I kept it to a limit and honestly it's not all that bad. Anyways, I think I have to apologize for a lack of uploads. I don't really have an excuse for it, I just wasn't really motivated to make content within the last 2 weeks. I actually started this video here sometime back in like November. So it has been quite a bit. Not to mention this video could have been easily done within like 3 weeks. But yeah, I can't really promise if I'm going to make more uploads or more videos more frequently. I have lots of video ideas, don't get me wrong, it's just that I lose motivation to work on any video pretty quickly, which sucks total dicks. But hey, at least I got this video here finished, and you know, maybe if you guys liked it, you might as well hit the like button, and maybe subscribe as well. I would definitely appreciate it. But yeah, see you around guys, until next time.